My name is Manoj Kumar. I am working as an assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering as a Kumar Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Today in this session, we will discuss about the structure in C programming. So, this is the table of contents that we will discuss in this session. First is the structure overview, and after that structure members and variables. What are the structure members and what is structure variables, and how we can initialize or and declare the structure members. Okay. After that, we will see about the accessing members of a structure. What is the process to access the members of a structure in C, and after that we will discuss about the array of a structure and what is the use of array of a structure and how we can implement the array of a structure in C programming. And after that we will discuss passing structure to a function. It means what are different ways using which we can pass structure as an argument or as a parameter to a function. So, this is the table of content that we will discuss in this session. So, let's start with the structure overview and introduction of a structure. Basically, structure is a collection of different types of data element. The limitation of array is that array stores the element of similar type. We cannot store the different types of element like integer, character, float inside a single array. Okay, so to resolve that limitation, structures is used. Structure is a collection of different type of data element. It means it is used to store the value of different type like integer, float, and character. Okay, and structure also called the struct. Struct word is also used for the structure, and it is a way to group several related variables into one place, and that place will be the name of the structure itself. Or you can say that we can group these different types of data element in a single unit, and that single unit is known as the structure. Next, each variable in the structure is known as the member of structure. Whatever types of variable we will declare inside the structure or we will define inside the structure, those variable basically known as the members of structure. And we can use this type of to store the different attributes of different data types. For example, if we want to store data of multiple employees such as an employee name, employee ID, and salary. It means suppose employee is an entity or it is an object, and each object has certain kinds of attributes and property. For example, there is an entity employee and employee ID, employee name, and the salary. These are the attributes of employee entity. So, in this case, but there are different types of each attributes. For example, employee name, that is a string or it is a character type of array in C programming. Employee ID, it is integer, and salary, it may be in float. Okay, so here these are the different types of data elements. So in this case, if you want to store the information about these attributes of the employee entity, then we have a way structure in C programming to implement such type of program or to solve such type of problem. So ultimately, structure is a collection of different type of data elements, and these data elements will are basically associated with a entity, and this entity is known as the structure variable. We will discuss in the next slide. Okay. Defining a structure. A structure is defined using the struct keyword. This is the syntax to define a structure. At first, we will use struct keyword. This is the keyword, struct keyword, and after that structure name, and member 1 data type of member 1, member 2 data type of member 2, and so on. How many members we are going to define inside the structure? We will simply declare those members inside the structure. For example, suppose we have to declare a structure employee. So this is the structure name and this is the struct keyword, and here we are declaring 3 members name, which this is the character type of array, this is the name of array, and 50 means size of array. It means there may be maximum 50 characters inside the array. This is the employee ID, second attributes, and this is the third attribute, or you can say that third members of the structure. So in this way, we simply define or declare a structure with the help of struct keyword. Next, creating structure variable. So what is the structure variable? Structure variables are the object or entity about which we are going to store the information. Like here employee. Okay, so if we create a particular instance of employee, or if we create a particular variable, or you can say that a particular object of employee structure, then that particular object or entity is known as the structure variable. As in case of class, that is known as the class instance or object in object oriented programming language. But in case of C, we can use structure for that particular purpose. Okay, so there are two methods to create the structure variables. First one is the inside the main function. How we can create the structure variables. So there are two different ways of creating the structure variable. First method or first way is the inside the main function. Okay, so inside the main function, this syntax is basically used to declare or to create the structure variable. First we use the struct keyword. After that, this is the structure name, and this is the structure variable 1, and this is the structure variable 2. Okay, suppose we have to store the information about two employees, like name of first employee, salary of first employee, and employee ID of first employee, name of second employee, salary of second employee, and the employee ID of the second employee. So in that case, we simply create the struct variable using struct structure name employee. Suppose first variable is E1 and second variable is E2. Okay, so in this way we simply create the structure variable inside the main function. Next, second method of creating the structure variable is at the time of defining the structure. It means in the program where we have to define, whenever we are going to define define the structure, at the same time we will create the structure variable. Like here we are going to define a structure name as the structure name as the person. Okay, and these are the structure member, and this is the first structure variable, and this is the second structure variable, and after that semicolon. So in this case, what we are doing, we are creating the structure variable at the time of definition, whereas in previous case we are creating the structure variable inside the main function. We will we will see the implementation in the next slide. So two ways are there how we can create the structure variable inside the main method and at the time of defining the structure. Okay, next is the initialization of structure members. How we can initialize the structure members? It means what are different ways in which we can assign the value to a structure member. Like for example, this is first member name, this is second member, and this is the third member. So how we can initialize the value or how we can initialize these structure member, or how we can assign the value to these structure member? So there are two different ways. First way is we can simply declare or assign the value inside the program. It means whenever we are implementing the program, then inside the program we can direct assign the variable. Just like for example, if we are going to declare a variable in a program int a, now there are two methods to assign the value of this variable. First, we simply initialize it within the program itself, like int a is equal to 10. So we will simply assign the value within the program itself. Second method is that we will provide the value at the runtime using the scanf function. Okay, scanf %d and %a. In the same way, we can initialize the structure member. Structure member can be initialized within the program itself, or structure member can also be initialized at the runtime. It means we can also provide the value to the structure members at the runtime by using the scanf function within the program. Next is accessing members of a structure. What we are doing here, we are at first we will create a structure, and these are the structure member, this is the structure, these are the structure members, and this is the structure variable. And now we have to access these structure members. So access means read and write. Okay, so first we will assign the value to these structure member. after that we will access it in the program. So this is the basic program for accessing the members of a structure in C programming. So this is, at first we are using the header file stdio.h. This is the second header file string.h, which will basically use to perform the string type of function like strcpy and strlen. Here we will use strcpy, that is why we have to invoke this particular header file. So at first we are creating a structure person. These are the structure member and this is the structure variable. So inside the main, this is the main method of the program. So at first we are using the strcpy function of the string.h header file to assign the value of name member. This is the name structure member. Now we have to assign the value to this particular member. So for that purpose, within the program we will use the strcpy. Without strcpy we can provide it at the runtime by using the scanf function, but we are here using the strcpy. So first parameter is the this is the structure variable and this is the member name. Dot operator. Dot operator is basically used to associate the structure member with structure variable. Here name is the structure member and person1 is the structure variable. Now if we have to associate the name with this structure variable, then we will use dot operator, and dot operator is also used to access the structure members. Okay, so first parameter is structure variable dot structure member. It means person1 dot name, and this is the value which will we are assigning to this name. Now city number direct we can initialize because it is the integer type. So person1 dot city number value is this, person1 dot salary value is this. Now in these three steps what we are doing, we are simply assigning the structure members a value, or we are initializing the structure members with a value. Now here to access the value of those particular structure member, we will use again dot operator. So since name is the character type of array, okay, so for that purpose we will use the type specifier percentile s and again person1 dot name. So person1 dot name will be printed at the when this statement will execute. Now this is the second statement, citizenship number. Since this number is of integer type of value, again structure variable dot structure member, it means person1 dot city number, then this value will be printed. Okay, now when this statement will execute, since this is the float type, so this value will be printed in this case. So in this way we will access the member of the structure. It means to access the structure member we simply use the dot operator. Dot operator associate the structure members with structure variable. Next topic is array of structure. What is the use of array of structure? Okay, suppose we have to store the information about 10 students. Like there are two variable. First variable is name and second variable is roll number, and suppose third variable is percentage. Now we have to store this information of 100 students. Then there are two ways. First, to store this information we have to declare or define 100 individual structure variables, which is a lengthy process. So what is the another process? Another process is that use of array of structure. So in the case whenever we have to store or maintain the information of structure members about the more than one variables, structure variables, or you can say that about the thousands or large number of structure variable, in that case we will use the array of structure. So array of structure in C can be defined as the collection of multiple structure variables where each variable contain the information about different entities. Okay, and the array of structure in C are used to store the information about multiple entities of different data type. It means the a name, it is of character type of array, roll number, this is of integer type, percentage, this is of float type. So what is the scenario here? Here each structure members has different data types, and they belong to the structure variables. All the structure variables, all the students about which we are going to store this information, they have these three attributes. Okay, so in such scenario we will simply use the array of structure, and this is the syntax to declare the array of structure. At first we will use the struct keyword. After that we will use the structure name, then array name and the size. Suppose we are going to store this information about 100 student, then in that case we simply declare array student, and this is the size about how much the structure variable we are going to store the information. So in this way we can declare the array of structure. This is the basic program to implement the concept of array of structure in C programming. Again, here these are the header file, and we are going to create a structure named as the student. So this is the structure name. We are going to store information about two attributes of student, like student roll number and student name. So in this program we are going to store the information about 4 student. This is the maximum size. Okay, this is the name 10. What does it represent? It represents that there may be maximum 10 character in the name. It may be some large value also. If we are going to specify here 50, then there may be the maximum 50 character inside the name. So this is a simple structure. Again, this is the array of structure. Struct keyword, structure name, and st is the array. This is the array of structure, and this is the number of variables, about how much variable structure variable we are going to store information. So that represent the number of structure variables. Okay, so here we are going to maintain or to store the information about 4 students, about the attributes or roll number and name. So at first what we will do, we will assign the value to these structure variables. So for that purpose we are going to use the for loop. This loop variable is initialized with 0 less than 4, because we are going to store information about only 4 students, and then updation step. So at first when I is equal to 0, for I is equal to 0, st0, then information about the first student will be stored. Then we will for I is equal to 0, again first st0 dot roll number means roll number of first student, and st 0 dot name of first student. In the same way, when the I value of I will be update and it will be 1, then information of the first second student will be entered. Again I value of I will be updated and I is equal to 2, information of the third student will be entered. Then again value of I will be updated and I is equal to 3, information of fourth student will be entered. So 0, 1, 2, 3, this will be the index value for the array. This is for first student information, this is for second, this is for third, and this is for fourth. So in this way we will simply enter the information about the structure members for 4 structure variables or for 4 students. Now we have to simply print those value. So again we will use the for loop. It will I will initialize from 0 and it will go up to the 3, and this is the way to print the structure members value, like sti dot roll number, comma information about the second attribute sti dot name. So when we will compile and execute this program, then this will be the output. First information, enter the roll number of first student 10, second roll name of first student abc. In the same way we enter the information of 4 student, and this is the output, the information that we have entered for these 4 structure variable that will be printed. So in this way we will use the array of structure. Next, second, passing the structure to a function. Like function, we will simple, when we use function, then at first we will return the data type, return type of function. return type, then function name, then parameter. Okay, so this is the parameter that we will pass in the function name. Suppose if we have to perform the sum of two integer type of variable, then parameter may be that will be passed inside the function, that may be int of a and int of b, and suppose the function name is sum and their return type will be integer. Okay, so in the same way as we pass the parameter inside the function, we can also pass the structure inside the function. There are two ways to pass the structure inside a function. First is the pass by value, or this is also known as the call by value. So when we use this method, when we pass a structure to a function using pass by value or call by value method, then the value of actual parameter cannot be modified by the value of formal parameter. Okay, so when a structure variable is passed by its value, then only a copy of member is passed to the function. If function modify any member, then the change don't affect the structure variables copy of member. It means actual value will not be affected. We will see it in the with the help of a program. Suppose this is these are the header file. This is a structure patient, and we are going to store the information about three members: patient ID, patient name, and patient gender. So these are the structure member. Now function that accept the structure variable as an argument. Suppose this is the function that accept the structure variable as an argument. Structure variable is passed as an argument inside the function, or that will work as a function parameter. So again, to declare the structure variable, what we will use? Struct keyword, structure name, and this is the structure variable name. Okay, so we are passing this here inside the function as a parameter. Now we are assigning the value. Suppose patient ID is 102, and simple we will print it. Patient name is p dot name, and patient gender is p dot gender. Okay, next this is the main method. Here what we are doing, patient we are creating the another structure variable p1, and the copy of this structure variable will be passed in here. Okay, so value of p dot id is 101. It means the value of id structure member of the patient is 101, and this strcpy function is basically used to assign the value of name of the patient. So first parameter is p1 dot name, and second parameter is the value of name. Suppose value of name is abc, and this is the third value of third structure member, gender. Suppose gender is male. So again, what we are doing here? Here we are calling the function and passing the structure variable. So here the structure variable is p1, and we are calling the function. This is the function calling statement, and we are passing the structure variable here as a parameter. Okay, so what will happen when the compiler will execute when the compiler will compute this compile this program? Then when compiler will compile this statement, then program control will be transferred to the function definition. This is the function definition. So inside this, the value we are passing the parameter p1. So value of p1 for these structure member will be passed here. Okay, so PID will be printed as 101, and name will be printed. This will be printed at 101. Name will be printed your ABC, and this is the gender is your male. Now what is this? Here p dot id. This is the local variable, or you can say that local members for this particular function. So again, in case of call by value, what I am doing, if we try to change assign this 101, then we cannot change it. Okay, it means this is the actual value, and so actual value will remain same. So when we will compile and execute this program, then this will be the output. Okay, so patient ID is 102. 102 is why, because we are initializing here it by 102. But this is the inside the structure, this is not the actual value is that we are going to assign inside the main method. So patient ID is 102, name is ABC, and the gender is M. Again the original value remains same 101. So in case of call by value, what I am saying, if we will try to change, this is the original value. Now if we will try to change this value inside the function, like here PID is 102, then original value will not change, original value will remain same 101. Okay, so but now if we have to change this original value, in that case we will use the call by reference method, or we have to pass the structure to function using the pass by reference or call by reference method. We will see in the next slide. Okay, so this is the pass by reference method. Here we will use the function, here we will use the function pointer operator is basically used, because in case of this will be the call by reference, this will be call by reference. Okay, so we have to because we are going to change the value of actual variable. So for that purpose we have to know the information about the address of that particular variable. So for address purpose we will use the pointer type of parameter. Okay, so here this is the structure patient, these are the structure members ID, name and gender, and this is our function name pass by reference. Here what we will do first is use the struct variable, then structure name, and this is asterisk p. Asterisk p means here we are passing the information of structure variable with the help of pointer. We are use this is the pointer notation. Okay, so if inside this PID is 101, again this operator arrow operator is used in case of pointer or in structure when we are accessing the structure member with the help of pointer. Then p arrow ID, this represent the patient ID, this represent the patient name, and this represent the patient gender. So inside the main program main function we are assigning the p dot ID 101, p dot name ABC, p dot gender M. Okay, and since this is the call by reference method, so what happen here, we will pass the address of structure variable, this is known as the address of operator. Okay, so here why we are using this, because we have to change this value using inside the function, we have to change this value by the function. Okay, so again here I am printing this. So what happened in this case, the value is inside the method is 102. So what is happening here, the ID of patient is initialized, or we have to change the value from 101 to 102, since this is the call by reference method. So in this case when we will assign a value here, then this value will also be changed to this value. Now here original value will also be changed, original value will also be changed. So that is why this is from the function, and this original value is changed because we are going to pass the parameter using the pointer, or we are going to pass the parameter with the address. Okay, so if we have to change the value of original value of a structure member, then in that case we have to use the structure pass by reference method. Okay, this is the references, let us see book. Thank you.